I loved my life too much. But she cheated on me. The unbreakable life. My name is Daniel Harper. I'm 39 years old. I live in a quiet town near Columbus. I fix cars for a living. And until last year, I believed I had built the kind of life people write thank you prayers about. I'm not a hero. I'm not a genius. I'm just a regular man who loves his life too much. I loved waking up at 6 a.m. before everyone else. The house would still be quiet, like it was holding its breath. I'd make coffee and stand by the kitchen window. The sunlight always hit the old oak tree in our yard first. I don't know why that mattered to me, but it did. It felt like proof that another good day was starting. My wife, Lily, used to come downstairs 10 minutes later. Her hair is messy. Her voice is soft. She would wrap her arms around my waist and rest her head on my back. Morning, she'd whisper. That was my favorite word. We had a son named Noah. He's 9 now. He thinks peanut butter belongs in everything. He believes dinosaurs could still be alive somewhere deep underground. He laughs with his whole body, like joy is too big to keep inside. On Fridays, we made homemade pizza. On Sundays, we went to the park near the river. Lily would sit on a bench while Noah and I kicked a soccer ball until we were both out of breath. Sometimes I'd look at her sitting there, brushing hair out of her face, and I would think, this is it. This is happiness. I loved my life too much. At the garage, the guys teased me about it. Danny, you're too happy, one of them would say. Something's gonna jinx it. I'd laugh it off. Engines break. Tires wear down. But love? Love felt stronger than metal. Then one day, the smallest crack appeared. It was a Wednesday. I came home earlier than usual because the power went out at the shop. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Lily was sitting at the dining table with her phone in her hand. She looked up fast when I walked in, like I had caught her doing something wrong. You're home early, she said, forcing a smile. Yeah, lucky me, I replied. Her phone buzzed. She flipped it over so I couldn't see the screen. I didn't say anything. I told myself I was being silly. Everyone deserves privacy. I trusted her. But that night, she went to bed with her phone under her pillow. Over the next few weeks, things changed slowly. She started dressing differently. Brighter colors. New perfume. She laughed at messages on her phone and tilted the screen away from me. She said she was staying late at work more often. Marketing projects. Deadlines. Meetings. I wanted to believe her. One evening, while we were washing dishes together, I asked, "Are you happy?" She paused. Just for a second. But I noticed. Of course, she said. But she didn't look at me when she said it. The crack in my perfect life started to widen. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just quiet and heavy. One night, Noah fell asleep on the couch while watching a movie. I carried him to bed. When I came back downstairs, Lily wasn't in the living room. I heard her voice outside on the porch. Soft. Almost sweet. I stood by the door without meaning to. I didn't want to spy. But I couldn't move. I miss you too, she whispered into the phone. My heart stopped. I didn't burst outside. I didn't shout. I just stood there, frozen. The world suddenly felt like it had tilted. Like gravity wasn't working right. When she came back inside, she saw my face. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Who is he? I asked quietly. She didn't deny it. And that silence was louder than any scream. That was the night I learned something terrible. You can love your life with all your heart. And it still might not love you back. Her name was Lily. And the man she was talking to was named Aaron. She told me that night. No more hiding. No more pretending. We sat at the kitchen table like strangers. The same table where we helped Noah with homework. The same table where we planned birthdays. And holidays. How long? I asked. 6 months, she whispered. 6 months. That's half a year. Half a year of smiles that weren't real. Half a year of kisses that meant nothing. Half a year of me loving my life too much while it was quietly slipping away. Do you love him? I asked. She started crying. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. It just did. I've fixed hundreds of engines in my life. When a part fails, there's a reason. Rust. Wear. Neglect. Nothing just happens. But love? Maybe it does. She told me Aaron worked in her office. He made her feel seen. He listened. He told her she was beautiful. I wanted to scream. I had told her she was beautiful almost every day. But maybe I stopped saying it in a way that mattered. That thought hurt the most. Noah woke up in the middle of the night and walked into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes. Why are you both awake? He asked. We both forced smiles. Grown-up talk, I said. He nodded and went back to bed. That's when the real pain hit me. It wasn't just about me and Lily. It was about him. Our son. His safe world. His Friday pizzas. His Sunday soccer games. I felt anger rising inside me, hot and sharp. But it wasn't loud anger. It was the quiet kind. The kind that sits in your chest and burns slowly. Do you want to leave? I asked her. She looked down at her hands. I don't know. Those 3 words were worse than a yes. The next weeks were the hardest of my life. We moved around each other carefully, like broken glass was scattered across the floor. We didn't argue in front of Noah. We didn't shout. But we didn't laugh either. I tried to fix it. I suggested counseling. Date nights. Weekend trips. I told her I would do anything. And I meant it. But she was already somewhere else. One afternoon, I picked Noah up from school early because he had a fever. When we got home, Lily's car was in the driveway. She was supposed to be at work. I didn't think so. I just walked inside. She wasn't alone. Aaron was standing in my living room. In my house. In the place where my son builds Lego castles and leaves crumbs on the couch. For a moment, none of us moved. Noah squeezed my hand tighter. Dad, he whispered. That whisper broke something inside me forever. I didn't punch him. I didn't shout. I just looked at Lily. And I realized something simple and terrible. The life I loved so much was already gone. I had just been the last one to know. The divorce happened quietly. No big court battles. No screaming fights in front of neighbors. Just papers. Signatures. Silence. Lily moved into a small apartment across town. Aaron didn't stay long. Funny how that works. The thing she risked everything for disappeared in less than 3 months. But the damage stayed. Noah lives with me most of the time. He still asks questions. Why doesn't Mom live here anymore? I tell him the truth, but in small pieces. Sometimes adults make mistakes, I say. Big ones. He nods like he understands. But I know he doesn't. And part of me is glad. The house feels different now. Bigger. Colder. On Friday nights, we still make pizza. The first time we did it without Lily, Noah said, it tastes different. It did. But we kept the tradition. One Sunday at the park, I watched Noah run toward the river, laughing. For a second, I felt that old happiness again. Not the perfect kind. Not the shiny kind. but a quieter one. I realized something important that day. I didn't just love my life. I built it. And even though she cheated me, bigger than I ever imagined, she didn't take everything. She couldn't take my son's laugh. She couldn't take my hands knowing how to fix things. She couldn't take the part of me that believes broken things can still work again. Maybe not the same way. But differently. Better, sometimes. Last week, Noah and I planted a new tree in the backyard. A small maple. He patted the dirt down and said, "It's going to grow big, Dad." I smiled. "Yeah," I told him. "It is. I don't love my life the same way anymore. I don't hold it too tight. I know now that things can change fast. That people can surprise you in painful ways. But I still love it. Just more carefully. And maybe that's not a weakness. Maybe that's strength. Because even after betrayal, even after heartbreak, I wake up at 6 a.m. I make coffee. I stand by the window. The sunlight still hits the oak tree first. And somehow, that's enough. Thanks for watching the full video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Kindly share your thoughts down in the comment sections.